All right, I see the live. All right, so the time is now 7:06. My name is Shauna Step Jones, and I am your Sergeant at Arms. Greetings to all of the Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, and all of our distinguished guests. This is Morgan State University's Toastmasters Club, club number 979-269. You are in the right place if you are looking to develop your public speaking skills, if you're looking to become a more confident, compelling speaker, or if you just want to associate with some good people and have a good time for the next hour, you're in the right place. We have a few reminders for all of our Toastmasters and guests. We ask that if you are not speaking, that you please mute your mic. Again, we ask that if you're not speaking, that you please mute your mic. Our second rule is if you have to move around, we ask that you please cut off your camera to avoid any distractions. Again, we ask you to please cut off your camera to avoid any distractions. Please keep in mind that we are streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube. So be sure to go back and check yourself out and check out the live feed of our meeting. And those are our rules. I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic over to our amazing president, Mr. Robert Tyree. Everyone, round of applause, clap it up. Yeah, press.
Listen, I feel good. I feel like Obama right now, Now, good evening, fellow Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. My name is Robert Tyree, and I have the pleasure for the next couple of weeks, I guess, being your president. So this has been an honor. Thank you guys for coming on tonight. We have a dynamic agenda for you today. We have two amazing speakers that will be presenting the floor. I feel like I haven't seen you guys for a little while. I know it's been a week. We had a kind of like a break, but I'm excited for what's about to happen. We got some new members, some new faces, some just fresh air. And I'm excited to be here on a Monday night. I know it was looking like it was going to storm, but on my side of town, it was looking kind of sunny. So I'm excited to see these sunny faces. I'm looking around, friends and family. And just want to ask a couple of questions. How's everybody evening coming along? You can give me a thumbs up. You can type it in the chat. Just want to check the temperature in the room. Okay. I feel like I'm in school right now. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, thank you. Come on, virtual hands. I remember a couple months ago, you guys didn't know how you do all that, I'm talking about Miss Eva. No, I'm joking with you. I'm just joking with you. So, no, I just learned how to do it a couple of weeks ago. So, all right, y'all. So, without any further ado, just want to say thank you guys once again for coming on. Is there any good news, anything that happened over the course of the weekend, any surprise events? Come off of mute and just share with us. I'll start. How about this? So the other day, I believe last Thursday, I had an opportunity to work with our very own Sergeant Arms, Ms. Shauna Devonair herself. I had an opportunity to kind of just see her world, visit some parks and recs, and just engage in networking at a networking event. So I know that we speak about Toastmasters helping you with public speaking, but also just the opportunity just to speak to people that you don't know and network. I felt like I was a master at doing this, but man, I was definitely a little rusty. So thank you, Shauna, for the opportunity just to present my brand, and definitely her and Natasha gave me a bunch of tips and feedback on how to get out there and get what's yours, So thank you for that opportunity. So anyone else has any good information, exciting news, celebrations?
I have one. It didn't happen in the last week, but my praise report is a few months ago, somebody hacked into one of my business credit card accounts, and they transferred over $30,000 to somewhere in Thailand or the Philippines. And the bank, which is a bank from England, they told me that I'm responsible for paying it back. I fought it, and eventually it's now being fully forgiven, and I don't owe them back $30,000 that I didn't spend. So I learned a lesson in patience and persistence and fighting for what's right.
Man, that is a praise report, man. Listen, we can dance on that right now.
I have some good news. Well, I want to, you're welcome, Rob. You did an awesome job speaking and networking and really branding yourself and putting yourself out there. But I wanted to let you all know that I have been a part of a 10-week program called Techstars, and our demo day is the 23rd. And so it's a cohort of 20 founders, tech startup founders, including myself, and we will be demoing. It's a virtual demo day. It's from 5 to 7 on the 23rd. I will definitely enter the information in the chat. I would love for all of you all to be there as I just update the world on our progress of Spundle, which is the first ever no heat dryer for wigs and bundles. And then also I was honored at the Baltimore homecoming celebration. I was honored with a $2,500 grant for the community work that I'm doing, and it was matched by the CFO of Cisco, as well as the president of Baltimore Homecoming. And so I'm really excited about the momentum that I have right now in the community, in the tech ecosystem. So hopefully you all can feel some of this positivity. I'm doing it for the culture, for the Toastmasters, and for everyone out there that's trying to live a dream. So yes. Stop.
Congratulations, Shauna.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Do we have any other individuals with some amazing news? All right, if not, that is okay. So I want to pass the baton to our Toastmaster of the evening, Mr. Tyrone Thornton. Tyrone.
Good evening, all. Good evening, all. On this Monday, this somewhat ominous, but it's dissipating Monday. It looked like it was going to rain, but it passed away without even trying. I am Tyrone Thorpe. I am your Toastmaster for the evening. And the Toastmaster is your MC that tries to guide you from point A to point B smoothly to the degree possible. But I do not do this role or take on this role as a one-man gang. Definitely not. I have supporting people who help me. I usually have a theme, or most Toastmasters start out with a theme, but I do not want to belabor the point and trying to figure it out and make one fit. So I will start by introducing the folks who help me at close proximity. Of course, the grammarians will get me on that one, but I'll say it either how. The closest ones will be the odd counter grammarian and the timer. Both roles are critical, and the odd counter and grammarian for this meeting on this evening is, excuse me, Crystal Sylvester. Please explain and expound on your role.
The suspense. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Tyrone. As Tyrone stated, I am the all counter and grammarian for tonight. The role of all counter and grammarian is pretty much to make sure that we are not using too many filler words, or I'm going to look for the filler words that we may be using. A filler word is just something that you say in moments when you really should just take a breath and then let the thought flow, versus saying, and then I thought about something that you do because you're trying to either rush through it or as you're thinking. So I encourage us all tonight to make sure that we just pause, keep a steady pace, a calm pace, so we can get our thoughts out without having to use too many filler words. I'm also going to be looking for seeing how our diction is. So that's the grammarian part. Are we using the correct sentence structure? Are we using words in the right context? And then lastly, we have a word of the day. If you have the agenda pulled up, you will see it. I have it. Our word of the day is salient. Salient means standing out conspicuously, being prominent or of noble significance. An example of the word salient is the assignment was to write down the salient facts from the article. If you use the word of the day tonight in any speech that you give or anything that you say, we will give a virtual knock knock. Can we see what a knock knock looks like? Yes, we will all do this symbol, this thing right here. We'll do a virtual knock knock. So I encourage you to use the word of the day, challenge yourself to use the word of the day in your speech or in whatever it is that you have to say tonight. And that is my role. Thank you.
Thank you for telling what your role is in the most compendious manner possible. And the next person is the timer. This role is critical for anyone who speaks, whether you are doing in competition or just in the club trying to get from point A to point B, no matter what level you may be trying to achieve. And tonight, our timer is Mr. Olio, the two-time champ. Samuels, please explain what the role and criticality of the timer is.
Thank you. My role in the timer is to help the speakers progress so that they know how to keep their speech aligned with the appropriate categories that you have to, meaning just like this. We have some people that are doing their prepared speeches. So during the prepared speeches, they have 5 to 7 minutes to do their speaking. So at the 5-minute mark, just as you see my background is green, it turns greener because it's greener on the other side. Because what that means is you just did perfectly fine to end your speech. If your speech was only catered to 5 minutes, guess what? You qualify to move on to win a competition, everything else. Now, let's say your speech is longer than 5 minutes. See, at the 6 minute, I'm sorry. Yeah, at the 6 minutes, at the 6, I've been time for a while now. I think it's at the 6-minute mark, we get the yellow. All right. At the yellow, this is saying, listen, you're approaching the time. You know, start ending your speech a little bit. Now, when we get to the red, that's the 7-minute mark. This is saying, listen, it's time to wrap it up, or you should already have wrapped up your speech. At the 7-minute mark, you do have an additional 30 seconds to end your speech. So red doesn't mean you failed. Red means, listen, bring it to a finish so that way you don't go past your time. And the reason that is so important is when you start getting to these competitions, as you're communicating and you want to start to learn to be more concise, whether it's in a business setting or whether it's with a parental setting or different things of that nature, this is very important to, if they give you a time limit, you got to just follow the time limit. And that's why we're trying to help you design, just to help you be even better. So, and then we also have table topics. At the table topics, it's the same thing, but different times. So at the table topic, you have 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, you have the green. This means you did what you were supposed to do. You talk for a minute. Now, at 1 minute and 30 seconds, you'll see the yellow. This lets you know, hey, you're good, but time is ticking. At the red, this is the same thing. It means, hey, bring it to an end. And at the 2-minute mark, when you see this red, you still have an additional 30 seconds to finish your speech. All right. Now, after you pass the 30 seconds, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to look at you because that just means you went past time. And we may even go like this to tell you, thank you. So thanks for everybody. Go participate. And let's remember for table topics, you can say whatever you want, but just try your best to speak for at least 1 minute. All right, I'm turning it back over to you, Mr. Toastmaster, Mr. Tyrone.
And I have to say that is the most organic description of the Timer's Report I've ever heard. And I say that as a compliment, period. You got to the point and we get it. Now that we got my supporting cast, at least 2 out of 3, let this meeting come to order and begin with our first speaker, Sunshine Anjanice Burton. But I can't just say that and just begin. Let's introduce her accurately and rightfully. Anjanice Burton is a women's empowerment coach who believes strongly in personal development to succeed not only as a woman, but as a mother. Through her own journey in woman and motherhood, she has found underlying principles that are needed to live a prosperous life. Her mission is to help 100,000 mothers, that's a good goal, be amazing moms while living in prosperity by discovering their purpose and gaining peace. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Miss Anjanice Sunshine Burton. The floor is yours.
Have you ever woken up, gotten ready for the day, got your shoes on, your clothes, you're at the door, on your way out the door, and you don't remember if you brushed your teeth? You don't remember what soap you used in the shower? You got to do a smell check. Oh, it was peppermint today. I used peppermint soap today. Have you ever gotten to work and don't remember how you got there? Have you ever lived your life or any moment of it on autopilot? Good evening, Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. Today, I'm going to tell you the truth about awareness. Awareness is something you need to live a purposeful and meaningful life. By definition, awareness is the knowledge and understanding that something is happening or exists. If you've lived your life on autopilot, you were not living it in the present moment. You were not aware. A prime example of awareness, and this is a true story that happened to me. I work at a coffee shop. I love working at a coffee shop. It is my pride and joy when customers walk in and it's Monday morning and they're rubbing their eyes and they're like, oh, let me get a medium latte. And they are unhappy that they are on their way to work this fine Monday morning. I get to have an interaction with them and transfer my positive energy. 5 a.m., nice and chipper, happy Monday, and I get to make them smile. It is a complete joy to see people after leaving their interaction with me have a little pep in their step, and they're on their way to work, and they're on their way to be productive in their lives, whatever they're doing. This was not always the case. There was a point in time when I was at work and it went on for about a few weeks. I had a lot going on in my life. I'm arguing with my boyfriend, kids being disrespectful. My family is putting me through changes. My job is putting me through changes, and I am just internalizing it all. So now when customers are coming in during this time frame in my life, I'm looking down. I'm not making any eye contact with them. I am not aware of anything that is going on around me. I couldn't tell what the person standing in front of me was even wearing at that moment. One particular day, this woman walks in. She orders herself a chai tea latte, which, if you know me, that is my favorite. And I'm, hey, small, medium, large, hot or iced. And I am laser focused on my computer screen, on my POS system. And she pays for her food and she pays for her drink. She looks up and she's about to walk away. I just so happened to look up at the same time as her. And it was my cousin. It was my family. I was so internalized with my emotions that I did not notice my own flesh and blood. Not just any cousin. This was my favorite cousin. And you all have a favorite cousin. Do not try to tell me you don't. This was my favorite cousin. We grew up together. Her children call me cousin auntie. She ran away when she was 15 and I moved out of state when I was 19. We lost connection. She doesn't have social media. She's not a big fan of it. And I had been trying to reach her for months and could not get a hold of her. Have you ever had something that you needed or wanted that was right in front of you and you did not look up in time enough to get it? Being aware isn't just being aware of the situation around you. Being aware is being aware of your feelings and your emotions and how that is affecting your behavior, your interactions with other people, your day to day. Awareness is just the facts. And a lot of people get this wrong. It is not a determination of if something is bad or if something is good, if something is right or if something is wrong. That is self-judgment and self-critique. That is not awareness. Awareness is just the facts. It is just knowing I felt this way today, I behaved this way, and because of that, this happened. Just the facts. In order to live a meaningful and a purposeful life, you have to live it on purpose. You cannot be on autopilot. You have to learn to be aware. That moment changed my life because I almost missed her. Months of trying to get in contact with her, and I almost didn't see her. So I had to learn how to become aware. So, Sunshine, how do I learn to practice awareness in my life? What can I do to learn more awareness in my life? I'm glad you asked. I'll tell you what you can. Take one task, one chore, such as washing the dishes. When you're washing the dishes, feel the dishcloth on your skin, the temperature of the water. Notice how many bubbles are in the sink. Just practice being aware. Your mind is going to wander. We're training it. You are training it by doing this action to bring it back to what is in your present moment. You do not want to be at a party trying to network and thinking about what's going on next Monday or what happened yesterday. You want to be aware. You want to be present in the moment. You don't have to be salient and stare at everybody trying to figure out what's going on in that moment. You just have to be aware within yourself. Being aware, being present is one of the main keys to living a meaningful and purposeful life. Thank you.
That was a timely speech because I think what your example shows is that we try to be so laser focused that anything beyond what's being focused on is ignored. Or to put it in the business context, if you come to me and you don't speak to me about business, I have nothing to say to you, which on one hand is one part a good thing, but 7,000 other parts a bad thing because it really puts you in the place of ignoring the person that you're supposed to be with and focus on. So thank you for giving that wonderful speech on awareness and being mindful of such, because given our go, go, go mentality and landscape, we tend to lose focus on being mindful and aware. Guilty as charged. Our next speaker, Mr. John Gilmore. John Gilmore is a former LEO. That's a law enforcement officer. He's now an entrepreneur, a businessman. His focus right now is in the landscape of real estate, trying to grow further and grow bigger in his team to leverage what's out there already. His focus is almost always trying to find people who aren't just in it for the sake of being in it. He's looking for folks who care and are in it to win it for a minute, with the goal of elevating and uplifting the folks around him and not being a parasite to them. His dream is to find and provide multiple streams of income and things to do for the folks around him to renovate, de-rust, renovate, I said that already, and remodel themselves to be a better after than the same before. And his speech is titled, Push Play. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you on this evening, Mr. John Gilmore with his speech, Push Play. The floor is yours.
I can't go. I don't know. I'm not good enough. My speech will never be as good as the last one. How can I really compete with anybody else and hear my I can't. Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. Thank you for having me here today. I hope that you all had a great day. How many of you have ever heard all those voices go off in your head? All those voices that might have stopped you from doing something. How many of you have ever told yourself that you couldn't speak, that you couldn't accomplish any of your goals? How many of you have? I need someone to tell me. Anyone here? Anyone feeling a little valiant? To raise your hand. Somebody. I can't be the only person. I know I can. Well, I'll go. I know I have. But what do you do? What have you done when you felt like that? What have you done when you felt so bad? So you just had the worst day ever. Nothing went right. You might have lost somebody. You might have worked so hard on something and you failed right at the last minute. You might have dropped the ball when it mattered the most. And have you ever just felt so low because of that? You were just depressed, didn't want to do anything, didn't want to go anywhere, didn't want to talk to anyone. Again, I have. But what do you do when you feel like that? For me, I might read a book. I know I listen to music. It changes my whole energy. Sometimes a good song comes on and some of that pain goes away. It might not go away forever, but it does go away for that moment so that you got some seconds to breathe, a few seconds to think, a few seconds to really go back into it. And that just changed my day so much. I know when that happened to me, I felt so much better from just somebody's words. So I thought one day that, would this person ever made that song? Where would I be at that day? What would I have done that day? What if that person listened to all those negative words that kept them from making that speech that just changed my whole world? Then I thought again, what if that person never made that song or that speech, that motivational speech that made someone get up from off of their deathbed, someone get up from committing some horrible act, maybe even to themselves? What if that person's song never changed or saved someone's life just because they thought of that? Even with movies, I know there are some movies out there that inspire someone to change their own perspective of themselves. I have some friends that just watch children that watch superhero movies, and now they feel like they can do better, they can be better, they can have something that they didn't have before. And again, what if no one ever made that? What if they heard those voices? I can't. It's not going to be good enough. I'll never be good enough. What if they never stopped saying that? I feel the saddest song in the world is probably a beautiful song. But that song is sad because it probably never saved the person's life that it should have, because it was never sung. It was never written. That most unmoving movie that anyone's ever played is one that they never pushed. No one ever recorded. That young child that could have been playing Superman, helping out their friends or doing something to change somebody else's world, probably would have never happened. Now I ask you, Toastmasters, guests, sometimes these gifts that we get, these words that we have, these songs that we want to write down, these speeches that we want to make, who are we to really take this gift of life for somebody else that's coming through us, to never share it? Even these words right now might change somebody's life. Even these words right now might help somebody get up when they are down, just like somebody else's words did for me. There's a a really good speaker that I follow a lot. His name is Les Brown. He says that the graveyard is the richest place on earth because it is there that you'll find all the hopes, all the dreams that never fulfilled, the books that are never written, the songs that were never sung, the inventions that were never shared, the cures that were never discovered, all because someone was too afraid to take that first step, to keep up with themselves and keep up with that problem that they themselves are fighting, that internal battle that they're fighting for themselves. Don't be selfish. Toastmasters, don't be selfish. Don't let something else scare you so much that you can't give. Don't let something scare you so much that's not even real. There's another proverb, there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm. Well, if you're your only enemy, because there's no one else in there but those words that are coming from you, because no one on the outside should be telling you that. And if they are, they don't know you. And if you are, you don't know you. Toastmasters, if you have a gift, if you have a song, if you have anything that you want to share, I just need you to push play. I need you to share that with everyone. I need you to share your gifts with the world because someone out there needs it. And only you have those perfect words at that right time to share it. Thank you. Push play.
John, I think your speech is timely. I would go so far to say that yours and Sunshine's speech are very timely in how they align with each other, and not just on the salient points of what you have. What your speech did triggered something, and I'm about to have I heard them say moment with Sunshine with that. She did an icebreaker dealing with fear of failure, and then she talked about something else, fear of success. When those two are together, and this is Sunshine's words, I'm paraphrasing, when fear of failure and fear of success run parallel, that's complacency. You don't want to do that. You want to open your gifts. In the words of Rich Aqua, who did a speech using that same thing, open your gifts, because the richest places in the world is a cemetery where the gifts unrealized and unshared, they reside and they're no longer to be shared. Thank you both for speeches and giving us something to ponder. Now, this part or the next part of the meeting is where we get to test our mettle. It allows you to test your ability to think on your feet and deliver speeches at the spur of the moment. This is the table topic section. This is where you don't know the answer necessarily. You're the architect of the answer, but you're not the creator of the question. It's truly impromptu. If you want to step into your unknown, this is where you test stepping into your unknown, because you don't know the question, but you get to form the answer. And it's never the same every time. And our guest, or I would rather say our speaker, not even speaker, our table topics mistress for the evening is Miss Jessica Dorch. I don't know if it's her first time, but sit back, relax, enjoy, and learn. Jessica, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. And hello, Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. First off, I just want to say, I just want to apologize in advance. I have my dogs here and I am watching my sister's dog as well. And they've just been going off a lot. So I apologize if they go off. I will put myself on mute until they're done, but I will try to get through this as fast as possible on my end. So I love movies, and it's funny that John, he just finished talking about movies a little bit, but I love movies and I love to pick people's brains about movies, like their top, whatever in any category. So that's kind of what I have planned here for you all today. So I'm going to need 5 volunteers. And if we have time for one more, I do have a 6th question, but I do need 5 people to volunteer. And this is just your personal opinion. Okay. So yes, you're in the hot seat, but I'm just asking you to give me your top 3 favorite, whatever. Okay. So I need my people, and I'm on my phone. Unfortunately, I couldn't get on my desktop, so I can't really see everybody one time. So if you all can just raise your hands to volunteer, that would be helpful. I don't see anybody. Anybody want to give me your top three?
We have Michelle,
Okay.
Sunshine.
Coach Angie, Robert.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Any guests want to participate? This is the time to have some fun, guests.
Yes, this is the time.
I got
Geechee,
4 so far.
you got Geechee.
Oh
That's
wait,
the fourth
okay.
one.
Okay, I think we good.
Right. Can we replace the spotlight? And John.
Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna pick somebody at random. Olia, it's you. Okay, so I need you to give me, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do a little example as well. Just, you know, give him some time to think. But so I need your top 3 favorite football movies, right? So mine, and you can put them in order, or you can just say your favorite 3. But mine in order would be, for example, Remember the Titans, Waterboy, and The Blind Side. So I guess my timer can tell you when to start.
This one might be hard for me because I actually don't watch sports.
But in movies.
Yeah, I don't watch.
You don't watch movies?
It don't matter. I'm gonna do the speech, you know, because that's what the challenge is all
Okay,
about.
well, give me one. Give me one that you can think about. It can be one that I just said as well, but just give me one and expound upon that.
Hold on, I didn't know you was gonna call me first. I gotta try. Well, you know, I got this virtual background thing going on, but it's all good. I gotta time myself. A sports movie. I'm sorry. All right. All right, I didn't know you was gonna call me. All right, you want to? Or could you repeat that question for me? What was it?
Yep. So just give me one. Just give me one of your favorite football movies. It can be one from any of the 3 that I said. And I said, Remember the Titans, The Blind Side, and Waterboy.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, you're going to love this. And let me tell you why. When she told me this topic, I said, I'm not the guy. She told me 3 different movies, and I thought to myself, like, Remember the Titans? I hope she picks somebody else. Because see, here's the thing. When you think about these movies or you think about these actors, sometimes we see like, man, I can see myself in that person, and we can identify, like, you know, I don't really remember the Waterboy. But here's what I will say. If I was in the movies, the Waterboy is not the position that I would play. See, I would be the star of my show. I would be the star of the movie. I would be the person that when people came to see it, they're like, I connect with him. Or they're like, I connect with that situation. See, here's the thing. No matter what movie it is, that's truly your favorite. No matter what sport, what art, what act, what business, what mission, whatever it is, you should be the star. And not only you should be the star, because see, life's a fight for territory. The minute you stop fighting for what you want, the things that you don't want will take over. So I ask you this, what is it that you really want? And here's what I want to add to that. What do you want today? What do you want tomorrow? What are the desires of your heart that would lead to fulfillment and not sorrow? I asked Tyrone for that quote, which he said that fear of failure and success that leads to complacency at the same time. Today, I want you to erase it from your mind. Toastmasters, that is my time.
Thank you, Olio. I feel like that was just so on brand for you to turn your top favorite movie into a motivational moment. So thank you for that. So next we have Michelle. And please tell me you like movies and you're ready for this, because this is my favorite question.
Hold on. Okay. So movies, I watch movies. However, I don't know if don't know if that's going to be a good one for me.
Okay, no worries.
And
okay.
What was you said? Movies, and what was the other topic?
Oh no, that's it. It's just movies. Give me your top favorite movies in various categories. Okay, no worries though. No worries. No pressure, anybody. So moving on to Geechee. If I'm just gonna go ahead and ask if you watch movies or not.
I'm sorry. Can I hop in, Miss Storch?
Please.
Y'all, come on. Y'all can do this. Have y'all ever seen it's a show on Netflix called BS? I'm not gonna say it, but y'all know what I mean. Or the game BS, like, and you really gotta just like speak like you know it, but you might be getting catfished or something. You know, so I love the way that Olio took the topic and spent it and made it his own. Like, whatever Jessica gives you, this is impromptu. We're not supposed to know sometimes. So stretch it, push it, say whatever. Make us laugh, make yourself laugh. But y'all got this. 60 seconds. And I hope Michelle.
Push play, like John said.
Yes, I hope you get back in there, Miss Carter.
Okay, you want me to make something up and make it
fair? I mean,
it
really is not. I don't want you to overthink it. It's really easy. Okay, and this is like the easiest one, because I'm sure at some point in time, I hope that you would have seen this person's movie. Anyway, so the question is, okay, give me your top favorite Denzel Washington movies and tell me why these three are your favorite.
Top 3 Denzel Washington movies. Can't make that one up because he's got a lot. I think I'd be better with the football than the Denzel Washington movie that moved me.
You can go ahead and pick one that moved you. It don't have to be 3. If you pick one and just tell me why that's your favorite or why it moved you.
I can't remember the name of the movie, but I think it was the movie. Oh God! Then he got me with the names. Was it Ezekiel? Is that the name of the movie? Somebody help me out here.
Maybe The Book of Eli?
The Book of Eli. That's it.
Okay, that's a good one.
When I think about that, it was the movie that moved me. The Book of Eli, Denzel Washington did a really good job playing that character. And also the Training Day? I believe
Yep, he was in that too.
Yeah, Training Day and another Denzel Washington movie. Let's just stick with those two. The Ezekiel and Training Day. Training Day, I believe he won award for that movie because he was really into character, and I believe that a lot of us went back to the community with a lot of his sayings from that movie. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. I think that was one of the lines from Training Day that went for like 10 years straight. And then the Book of Eli was a great movie because it was kind of sci-fi, futuristic, not a normal character for Denzel, but a very intense character for Denzel to play, which he normally does play an intense character. And one scene from the movie that I remember and that was very intense was when he was seeing a situation where a man and woman were being jacked of all their supplies. And Denzel was kind of the person in that movie to be a hero. But in that particular scenario, while he was on watch and on, he didn't do anything about it. He just let the robbery occur, which was kind of taken back because you've seen him stand up for other people throughout the movie, but at this particular time he didn't. And that's all I had to say right now.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for putting yourself out there. Yes, thank you. And yes, like Natasha said, thank you for you kept pushing. So thank you for that. Next up we have Geechee. If you would still like to participate, I'm gonna put that out there first, my disclaimer.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so give me your top 3 Disney movies of all time and explain why they are your top 3 of all time.
My top 3 Disney movies. Though I haven't watched a lot of Disney, I'll tell you what my top 1 isn't. And that's probably Black is King. Only because I know that Disney, during a time where subscription was going down, needed to get their Black audience back up. And so they bought Black is King from Beyonce for $100 million because they knew that they could make that back in the profits with subscriptions that's going back into Disney. And the reason why they needed to do that, because there were a lot of racial and social issues that has been brought up about Disney, so they was losing some credibility. And when you dive into some of their children's stories, it's very, very, very problematic because it heightens the state violence on Black folks, but it also teaches Black kids to be more accepting of their inferior status. So I can't think of one Disney movie that I like. I can't even remember watching Disney movie, but the one that I disliked the most was Black is King. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that. Okay, so next up we have Robert. If you would still like to participate, I'm asking everybody that. And okay. Oh, Tyrone said he'll go. Is Robert? Oh, Robert, you ready, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So I need you to give me your top 3 Marvel movies.
Ooh.
But no way, I'm not even gonna say Marvel. I'm gonna just say superhero.
No, we rocking. Listen, let me tell you what is not one of my favorite Marvel movies right now. Had this conversation. Thank you, Geechee, for that insight. Doctor Strange, y'all. I'm not gonna go too deep in it, but I had opportunity to watch Doctor Strange, and I'm a Marvel fan. I went to the if y'all know anything about Overly, the $2 movie. I went there by myself yesterday. Got me a bag of popcorn, snuck some gummy bears in. Don't tell nobody, y'all. I know we live. And I tried to enjoy myself. Listen, that movie was different, y'all. It was strange. I'm used to Wakanda Forever, where we were supporting all causes around the world, and it was even if he wasn't of that descent, everybody, kids around the world, Wakanda. I love some Marvel. Iron Man, classic. All the way to Iron Man 1. I love me some Robert Downey Jr., right? Samuel L. Jackson, who is not Denzel Washington, but one of the best actors, I believe. I love him. Spider-Man. I didn't like the first Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, but the new Spider-Man I definitely enjoyed. But Doctor Strange was too strange for me, y'all. I just couldn't get into it. It was a little spooky. But I'm still going to attempt to support Marvel movies. I enjoyed them as I was a young kid. Taking my nephew and my niece just to enjoy the cartoons that I once enjoyed as a young kid. I remember waking up Saturday morning around 8 o'clock my PJs, my bowl of cereal, my Pop-Tart, just sitting down, just enjoying all the classics. So that's what I desire to have. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case with the, I guess, new era or new direction that Marvel is going. So Marvel, I need y'all to bring back the old school classics, that good feeling that made me excited, not the scary, spooky stuff that's happening right now. So if you're going to see Doctor Strange, just hold it and wait till it comes on Hulu and Netflix, you know? And that's my time.
Thank you for that. And I don't know, I kind of want to watch it now that you said all that. I want to know what you talk about. That's the type of person I am. So next up we have Coach Angie. And I feel like somebody has to redeem this Denzel question. I'm sorry, would you still like to participate? Okay. That's my disclaimer. But okay, so give me your top 3 favorite Denzel movies and tell me why they are your top 3 favorite.
Hello, I am going to not obey the rules completely. I'm going to give you my top 2, and it is Equalizer 1 and Equalizer 2. That boy is bad in the movies. You hear me? He takes his watch. He times everything to the second. Everything he does has a purpose. Everything he does has a meaning. He doesn't miss a beat. When they come to attack him, he's able to notice what is different because he was aware of his surroundings before he left. He is aware of the people and the neighbors and how they act, their reactions. He notices things as simple as the flowers being stepped on just because he pays attention. He lives in his present moment, and he doesn't use his talents for bad. He uses his talents to help people. The first movie, he saves a woman. And she was, if I'm not mistaken, a sex worker, and he saved her. She got caught up with the wrong people, and he went after her. She mattered. In the second movie, I believe someone he was close to got kidnapped, and he went after them. They mattered. And then, based on how great that movie is, Amazon Prime came out with an entire series on it, and starring Queen Latifah, based off of a Denzel movie. You couldn't tell me not to watch it. It's a new episode out right after this. I'm finna stay up late and watch it. I'm so sorry I said finna. Denzel Washington, I heard he's not a nice guy. I heard he's kind of not that great of a person behind scenes. However, his talent is amazing, and I appreciate his use of tact and purposefulness in the Equalizer 1 and Equalizer 2. I am an action fanatic. Love those movies. That is my time. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for that. I mean, that was a very thorough explanation, and I loved every minute of that. That really captured the essence of Equalizer 1 and 2, so thank you. And honestly, I'm gonna throw Man and Fire in there because he went ham in that. I loved it. So next we have, last but certainly not least, we have John, who, if you would still like to play, I'm gonna ask you what your top 3 favorite Black classics are. And I'm talking about Black classic cinema as in, you know, Baby Boy, Boys in the Hood, these type movies. Give it to me.
Life. Life is my movie. What else? Black Panther. Who doesn't love that? It's one of ours. We're going to keep it. We know we're not really always messing with Disney or Marvel sometimes, but that was ours. Can't give it back. And Harlem Nights. Did I freeze? Did I freeze?
No, you didn't freeze. No,
Okay.
we got you. Okay, but go ahead. You got to expound. Say why.
Okay, so Harlem Nights, all the classic comedians are in there. How could you not watch that movie? Quick! Look what you did. Man, that was funny. You just can't. You have some of those movies you could just sit back and I can watch it. I can watch it with my children. Some of it, I might have to cover the eyes on some of it. But those movies, probably 50 years from now, I can still watch that and still laugh. And I can guarantee that there's a good amount of people that will do the same thing. And even in those movies, a lot of, especially those phenomenal actors, Eddie Murphy, Red Fox, Richard Pryor, they were people that even during, we're not out of it yet, but even in really racial times, they still show that we don't have to, we can still be us and tell our stories and we don't have to do anything. It was literally, they owned that movie. Black Panther did the same thing. And I think anyone who, even people that don't like superhero movies or movies like that, they still, I'm sure there were so many people there that I don't think everybody liked superhero movies. They only probably ever even heard of a Black Panther, but they showed up. They showed out. They had their dashikis on. Y'all remember that. Movies like that really bring us out, are movies that I can really get with. Life. Again, I'm a pretty good Eddie Murphy fan, but that was one of those movies that it was hilarious from the beginning to the end. So seeing him run across that field to go get that apple pie, burning his lips. So I'm about to go watch that now. Thank you. I'm about to have a movie marathon now. But then, even then, you still get our stories in there. You still get people that are in there that shouldn't be. You still see things that, we still need to keep on telling. That's happening and that's still happening. And all those movies, I feel like, are movies that they entertained you. They could be told for 100 years from now, but they also educated and gave our soul in there. So that's why I like those three.
Yes, thank you, John. You made my heart so happy. Yes, Life is one of my favorite movies ever. And I feel like I should go watch that now too. So there we go. We're going to have a little Toastmasters movie night and we're going to be watching, Life and Harlem Nights. And I'm going to throw Boomerang in there because that's my movie too. But yeah. So we have one more who, let me see. Let me go to the chat. Did I miss the person's name? Who's the last person who wanted to
No,
do
Jess,
it?
we actually are good to go. We can actually
okay.
Well, me, but let's go for it.
Huh?
I said it would have been me, but let's go for it because time is of the essence.
Oh, okay, of course. Okay. So
it would have been me, the last person.
Okay. So I'm gonna just go ahead and close out. Thank you all for having me do table topics. This is my first time. Y'all had me bummed out a little bit because I was like, dang, did I pick a bad topic? But John came in, okay, Robert came in, and y'all saved the day. So thanks so much. And thank you everybody for all of your insight and just answering my questions and pushing through and everything like that. So with that, I'm gonna turn it back over to our Toastmaster for the night.
This was Jessica's first one, and I don't think it'll be her last one because it definitely made a stretch and it was out of the ordinary given what it was. And it brought levity to what usually is mostly highbrow, high thought-provoking in the scholarly sense of the word. But we got levity and we got some new thoughts involved. So thank you for bringing that variation and variety to table topics. Now we heard the prepared speeches, and we now heard the impromptu. But in hearing all of that, we need to get some leveling and some feedback to show where to improve, where to stretch, and really hone in on what's good and hone what can be improved. This is what the general evaluation part of our meeting aims to do. And our general evaluator for this evening is our own coach of, I would say, insight and uplift. And that will be ushered in by Miss Angela Hamlin.
Good evening. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I really appreciate that. Tonight, as he said already, we have heard some wonderful relevant topics in our speeches as well as in table topics. At this time, we will be doing the evaluation for our prepared speeches. There were 2 prepared speeches. The first one was by our coach Angie, and then the other was by our brother John Gilmore. Both speeches will be evaluated by our president, Mr. Robert Tyree. Can you come forth and let us know who you'll be evaluating first and then next? And after that, we'll be going into our other parts of the evening of the meeting with our timer report and our all-counted grammarian report. Mr. Tyree?
All right, so sorry, Angela. I am going to actually evaluate Coach Angie, and Natasha is going to evaluate John. So I will actually be the first evaluator. And give me 1 second so I can spotlight. Let's see if I can find you, John. Y'all be patient with me. I'm learning how to still do this spotlight. Yeah. All right, John. Wait, I'm sorry. Wrong person. Lord. Coach Angie, where you at? There you go. Okay. I see Angie. I got you, girl. All right. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. My name is Robert Tyree, and I will be Coach Angie's evaluate. Angie, what a pleasure just to hear you speak again. I know that you are getting back into the groove of Toastmasters. So I just want to highlight a couple of things that I thought was super amazing. I love that you use your background appropriately, the way that you were able to stand up. You had great posture. You were able to see her background clearly. So I know for me, depending on the style of speech, I enjoy seeing some virtual backgrounds, but also I love to see just the regular background, white background, green background, but I actually like your background that you had presented. I definitely enjoy your voice variations or inflections. So as you were speaking about different people in your speech, about, I believe it was your cousin, I like that you were able to kind of change your tone of voice, or it reminded me of a cartoon or characters, but it was basically a great way to engage with the audience, to keep their attention, and also just to keep the speech going and alive. I like that, like, it was a conversation, you were just speaking, and I feel like one of the good things that you do, you use real life events and you bring them to life. So for any individuals that are working on speaking or just trying to figure out how do I start with a speech, look at your everyday life, look at the things that are going well, things that could be improved, or things that may not be so great in your life, and just talk about it, because we always have opportunities to teach others. And I know you're a coach, also a mom, so it's a great way just to teach others to be aware. One of the things that I thought that was interesting was your background with the MTA map, I believe, right? So one of the things I would challenge you to is use that. Like, I was looking for an opportunity for you to be like, turn around and like, have you ever been lost, in MTA, or wasn't aware of the streets? I'm just like, use that like, a perfect opportunity where you could have just took your speech to another level. One thing I want to challenge you with is get into your flow. Like, you have a authentic, wonderful, poetic, right, coaching flow, and I want to see you really like fully immerse yourself into that. So even if like a suggestion, I don't know how your PowerPoint, how you were structured, but like have your points right. I just vanished. But get into your flow where you can kind of go back to your points, because when you're just articulating, just talking, that's where I feel like you're at your best, when you're just elaborating on the information that you already have inside of you, right? And then get back into your organized bullet points. But when you flow and just talk, that's when I believe, at your best. So that's a couple of things I just wanted to kind of just give feedback on. But I continue to push you, and we encourage you to keep on speaking, because we can't wait to see what you have next. And you're full of stories, so let it out, because we need them. And that's my time.
Okay, our next evaluator would be Ms. Natasha Brown. She will be evaluating John Gilmore's speech. Ms. Natasha.
All right, good evening, Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, and distinguished guests, and especially John. I haven't been in this seat for a while, so it's good to get back to evaluating, and I'm happy that I have the honor to evaluate you. All right, so motivation. How many people were motivated by John's speech? Like, just raise your hand, give me a thumbs up. Like, come on, let's affirm this, because I saw y'all in the chat. I seen the hands raised. I don't know if he saw all the hands raised in the beginning when he asked his question, but that's where I'm going to start. You engaged with the audience right from the beginning. You asked questions, you had everybody raising their hand. So you had the audience engaged right from the start, because your question, because they answered the question correctly. It's like, okay, so this speech is getting ready to be for me. So I thought that was awesome how you started off with that hook. That was kind of like a skit. You kind of took us into a situation that could have us in the right mindset to receive the speech that you were getting ready to give. So awesome job with the beginning of the speech. I love that you gave examples on what you can do when you need motivation. That was great as well. Instead of just talking about your need for motivation, you actually talked about what you do when you need motivation, as far as listening to music and things like that. And then you even talked about, like, what if this person didn't say yes to writing this music? It wouldn't have been able to motivate me to get started. So I love how you put yourself in it. I want to ask you just to stretch a little bit, and not even really stretch. Because normally you're a storyteller, as you speak, it's like a conversation, like we're friends and you're just talking to us about your day. So I would have liked to see you pick a particular situation where you were feeling less motivated, a specific situation where you could go in and say, I remember this time when I wasn't motivated. Tell us a little bit about it, and then talk to us about how those methods got you back up and running again. Let's see, that was my stretch. Okay, that was my stretch. And then a couple more things. One, your pacing is awesome. So we can't tell if you need to be thinking, if it's a pregnant pause, because when you communicate, you just have this pace that's conversational. You give people time to actually break down what you're saying and get ready for what you're saying next. The growth, I'm actually doing it myself, the hand gestures. Okay, so we were using, and I was just using hand gestures as kind of like pacing, not really intentional. My hand gestures weren't adding to what I was saying. It was just adding. So I would say for stretch to try to be mindful with your hand gestures, because hand gestures can have an opportunity to distract people from what you're saying. But I don't think that was the case in this situation. But just in case, we want to make sure that our hand gestures are actually building emphasis to what we're saying and not just, pacing us along. You were very comfortable. Your speech was clear and concise. I don't think there's anybody that can say that they didn't understand. And you did what you were supposed to do, leave us motivated. One last suggestion for the title, Push Play. When you said it, I was like, when is he going to say push play? And then when you said it and said push play on the music, I'm like, you know what? If like maybe we could have brought that up a little bit further in the speech and then like filtered in the push play throughout the speech, then I would have been like, you know what? I understood why he put that as a topic. But since it came towards the end, I was thinking, he could have chose a different topic, like fear not, or go for it, or do it scared, or something like that, just because of the placement of the verbiage push play. Okay, I love the topic, the title, just if it was used a little bit more in the speech. So excellent job. I'm all over the place with my evaluation because you were actually talking to us about motivation that I just started to do myself with my morning routine, listening to music again. So thank you for encouraging me to continue, and hopefully everyone else was encouraged and motivated as well. And we look forward to hearing you speak again.
Thank you so much, evaluators, for giving the encouragement that's needed when you speak, as well as the feedback to keep pushing on to take your speech from just being good to being great. So we thank you for that. At this time, we're going to go ahead and get started with our reports. We have the R Counter Grammarian report that's going to be done by Crystal. Followed by that, we will then go into our timer report, which will be given by Olio. Thank you.
Good evening again. We did pretty well tonight. I would say so, that for the most part, we took our time and said what we had to say so that we didn't use too many filler words. We used the word of the day. Congratulations to Sunshine. Congratulations to Tyrone. John, I think you said the word valiant instead of, you said valiant instead of salient, and the word was salient. Did I miss anybody else? You can drop it in the chat if I miss anyone else, but I think those were the two that I heard, Sunshine and Tyrone. We can clap it up for them. Moving on to filler words. I wasn't going to point out individuals, but I think it is helpful to at least be aware, as Sunshine mentioned, that awareness factor of the words that we do use. So I am going to point out the ones that I heard. Sunshine, your filler word is, or I wouldn't even say your filler word. I want you to be aware of using the word to. I noticed that you said to instead of to. Being aware of that. John, as you would transition, you would use, and John, Jessica, Michelle, and I'll go down the list, but John, as you would transition, I noticed you would use the word Jessica, your filler word is so, okay, so. What I would recommend for us, instead of using okay, so, let's start to do some more research into transition words. When we want to transition from one thought to another thought, one thing that we can say is, now that we have such and such, let's discuss such and such, instead of so da 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 da. Michelle, you also used and I'm gonna say Michelle and Geechee, both of you used and I think that was because we stumbled on the table topics because it was a topic that we weren't prepared for we weren't quite prepared for it. And so I would just encourage us to, even when we're taken aback and we need time to reflect, it is absolutely okay to just pause, collect your thoughts, and then say what you need to say. And Rob, your filler word is I hope that this report was helpful in some way, and I would encourage us to continue practicing, continue being mindful of our filler words, and do a little bit of research to figure out what transition words can I use in place when I need to transition from one thought to another. But overall, we did a great job tonight. Thank you, everyone.
Olio, would you come forth with your report, please?
All right, everybody. Now for the timer report. I'll start off with you had 5 to 6 minutes for your speech. Your speech was 7 minutes. I'm sorry, you had 5 to 7 minutes. Your speech was 7 minutes, which means that it was in the time. John, your speech was 5 to 7 minutes also. It was 6 minutes and 33 seconds, which means it was in the allotted time also. Great job to our speakers today. Both of your speeches were in perfect timing. All right, now for the table topics. So table topics, you had 1 to 2 minutes of speaking. So one thing about table topics is the minute you talk, the time starts. Sometimes people don't know that. And so while as long as non-gesture, so you can do a gesture, but as soon as you say something that's not about like asking a question, then your time starts. So just giving a disclaimer. All right, so the first person was me. My time at 1 to 2 minutes. My time was 2 minutes and 26 seconds. So I almost disqualified myself. Michelle, you had 1 or 2 minutes. Your time was 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So you was right at the buzzer. Great. I think is it Giche? I want to make sure I'm not saying it. I don't want to say your name wrong. You had 1 to 2 minutes. Your time was 1 minute, 10 seconds. Perfect. Great time. Robert Tyree, your time was 1 minute, 45 seconds. It's in time. Angie, 1 minute, 45 seconds. In time. John, 3 minutes and 5 seconds. I think you were feeling it. You were just feeling the flow. And that was it. So just condense it on the next one. Evaluators, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to time the evaluators or not, or what your time was. So Robert, I didn't get a time because I was like, I don't know if it's 2 to 3 or 3 to 5. Natasha, I did get a time for you. It was 4 minutes and 55 seconds. Just so you just know the time for your evaluation. That's my time. Turn it back over to you, Ms. Hamlin.
Well, thank y'all so very much, Mr. Olio and all the rest, and Miss Crystal for those wonderful reports. At this time, I will be doing a general evaluation of the whole meeting. And my job is to really think about what happened during the meeting from beginning to end. So that's what I will be discussing. I'm going to take a few minutes to do that. First of all, I want to say thank everyone for showing up, for being here in this meeting. Toastmasters is important for us to grow. And so that's the purpose of us being here. Thank you for coming. And today we got started a little late at 7:06. Our Sergeant at Arms brought the meeting to get started 7:06. So we're a few minutes late with that. So we may want to just do a little bit better with starting the meeting on time. As we continued in the meeting, I like the introductions by our president in the sense when he came on, he gave the meeting, people that attend the meeting an opportunity to talk about good reports, what's been happening. And so that kind of gives us a chance to hear good things and for us to encourage and even support our members on the things that they're doing. It's also a time for us to really get our mindset, get ready for all the things that's about to happen in the meeting. So that was great. Thank you, President, for that. When we ask everyone to tell us something about what's happening, we can all, when they win, we win because we are a team. So we always want to hear what's the good news. I like the speeches. They were, as Mr. Our Toastmaster said, they're relevant topics. It was timely. And I totally agree. So those speech titles were awesome. The speakers did a phenomenal job of laying out their speeches. I saw the chat going off. So that means that we got engagement. That's a plus. When you get people engaged in a meeting, that immediately say there's a connection so we all can have a good time, not only just being physically present, but be able to benefit for what's happening in the meeting. So that was good. The encouragement and the engagement was awesome. Toastmaster, love your vocabulary as you speak and you were doing your transition from one part of the meeting to the next. You were using vocabulary words that will stretch us. And many times I write those down and I have to go back and find out what the meaning of them. So thank you for your broadness of your vocabulary, because it stretches us to even learn what you're talking about and be able to maybe use those same words as we speak throughout our conversation beyond Toastmaster. The introductions of the roles, great explanation. When you explain about what you're about to do, it gives everyone in the meeting ready to understand what you're about to do easily. So thanks for the explanation, Crystal. Phenomenal job with giving examples about your speech, about what you're looking for, what you're trying to catch. You did great with that. Also, the timer. I love that you're doing the background, even the background that you have now. The visual is awesome. Everybody understands what's happening next. So that the use of the virtual backgrounds is awesome. So thank you. The speeches again was great. It flowed. Natasha, I like when we did the table topics, how you came in as the leader that you are and help Jessica to feel at ease about the topic that she chose. You say, hey guys, we can do this. We can come up with some of the things that she's asking. So you not only helped her, but you helped us too to relax and don't overthink it. And you let us to push play, and we went forward with it. So great job with that. So overall, the meeting was great. One thing I would just recommend all of us, whoever have roles in the meeting, if you could just change your name, rename yourself. If you are the evaluator, put your name and then evaluator. If you are the timer, your name and then your role. That helps everybody in the meeting. So thank you, Mr. Olio, for doing that. And many others have titles, but if you're a speaker, you can just say speaker or whatever. That helps everyone that's in the audience can really identify who's up next, who should be on the screen next, and can be able to be prepared to encourage everyone. So that's my evaluation for the meeting. Continue to come and volunteer for roles. This is always a good encouragement for Monday night come out. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be the evaluator. Last minute, but I'm so grateful that I said yes. And I just want to leave you with one thing. When we think about how we can encourage one another, let us be able to know that when we show up, basically, someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. That's a quote by Les Brown. So let's keep planting seeds. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So someone else can be blessed by what we're doing today. Thank you.
Well done, Angela. And it's not just planting those seeds. They planted those seeds so they can have shade that they know they will not sit under. So they knew this already for us. I would definitely say that this was a good meeting because we got insight. I would even say we got rejuvenated by sunshine, just on being aware and being mindful of what is what. And having a drop kick by John just to push play. Sometimes we just put the tape in, turn the Walkman on, or if you're old school like I am, and we forget to push play. We'll fast forward it, rewind it, but we won't push play. So this was a timely meeting where we get to have those things collide and align. So I can definitely say this was a great meeting. And on the subject of words, Angela, my mom had something that she threw out there when I was a kid. Find a big word and throw it around. Know what it means and then throw it around. That way you surprise folks who think you don't know as much. And you're like, okay, I know this kid knows something, and I got to be careful of how I'll navigate around this kid. And that's why the dictionary, MW, is my friend with their word of the day. Having said all that, thank you for affording me the time to be your Toastmaster for this evening. And I relinquish my time to our president, Robert Tyree.
All right, good evening once again. I'm actually going to pass the baton to Olio. And Olio, give me a thumbs up if you're smiling already. Olio, would you actually let everyone know about the treasure moment, sir?
Sure thing, sure thing. Everybody listen. Let me tell you a little secret, right? Many people, they say, listen, this is wonderful, man. It's a place I get to improve my speaking, my communication, my competence, my leadership, my coaching skills, my creativity, imagination, my networking. There's a lot of things that Toastmasters has to offer. They're like, how much does it cost to be a part of this, Leo? Can I just come in? Like, is it free, or do I got to pay like $5,000 a week? Or listen, let me tell you something. If you just want to come hang out with us, check it out, peep the vibes, participate in table topics. It is completely free. Free 99. All right. It costs nothing. And let's say you're like, this is cool. I like doing table topics. I like hanging out, meeting everybody, networking and everything. But I want to start giving prepared speeches. Actually, I want to get paid to speak. When I say something, people should pay me. Or you know what? I just want to improve myself in my business, my work, my job, my profession, or even my family. I just like the networking. I want to see how much does it cost to be a part of this. Listen, everyone, it doesn't cost $5,000 a month like most people think. Yes, we do have more than that value, but to be a part of Toastmasters is actually a one-time fee of $75, and that covers 6 months. This isn't $75 a day, $75 a month. It's $75 that covers 6 months, okay? Now, if you've already been a member before, guess what? It's $50, all right? Now, the $25 for new members, that's the new member fee. Once you're a member, $50 for your renewal. And this is the renewal time right now. It's also prorated. So as time goes, we're going to subtract some money from that. Now, listen, on top of that, this is tax deductible. Yes, it's training, it's improvement. So you can write off 100% of this right off to your taxes. And Natasha just put it in the chat below to give you the exact price right now for new members of $62.50 because it's prorated. See how generous Toastmasters is to us? That's why I had to be a part of this. And not to mention, it's tax deductible. Okay. So listen, to be a part of this, you can cash app us at the $ MSUTM, or you can actually send us on PayPal at MSU Toastmasters Club at gmail.com. Both links will be provided below in the chat. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to MSU Toastmasters. That is my time. I'm turning it back over to you, Mr. Robert Tyree. You can also contact me if you have any questions about membership. But go ahead, get started. Take the leap, plant the seed so that somebody can sit in the share that you bear in the future. Thank you. And turn it back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Just want to leave some closing remarks. And then I actually want to turn it over to Natasha. So no one leave. I want to just real quick. I'm doing a lot of ums. Let me relax. Woo. Meeting, fantastic. Just want to thank every individual that was able to step in to take a role. Thank you for just the love and support in the chat, the warm environment. Just want to shout out a couple individuals. Jessica, amazing job at the table topics. You show that you are progressing as a Toastmaster individual, as a Toastmaster. So we're excited to keep it going. So great job. Natasha, always a great job. Thank you for just the input, like Angela said earlier, to change our mind about table topics. Definitely important just to be able to come off the cuff, even if you don't know what you're talking about. So fake it till you make it. And as you practice, you'll be able to become a better speaker. Great speeches from John and also Sunshine, very, very creative. And just thank you for all the individuals that that are here today. So I want to move along quickly. I know I have some extra stuff to say, but I know we have today at 8:45 our icebreaker workshop. So I'll pause on that. But I want to do a quick thing. If you are new here today, I believe everybody's been here, but if anybody is new, I would love just to hear you come off the mic and just ask you a couple questions. How did you hear about Toastmasters? Did you enjoy the meeting, and will you be coming again?
So
Hello.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
DJ, you can go, or no, Ashley, you can go first. Okay.
Hello, everyone. I am Ashlyn Price, and it's my first meeting here with you guys, so I'm super excited about that. Thanks for having me. I heard about Toastmasters actually through my therapist. I also found out about Toastmasters through my mentor. So I'm new to speaking, but I am really excited about networking, building a good support system, a good team to help me, to support me, to groom me, to push me further. Like Olio said, I want to become a paid speaker sometime in the future. So I know you gotta sit at the table. So I am here at the table, team. So this is my first time dropping in. I just want to just say hi to everyone and just kind of see what the meeting was about and just check in. So I do plan on coming back. I do plan on coming back. So I look forward to seeing everyone in the near future. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And Geechee, would you like to go, sir?
Yeah, definitely. So I heard about Toastmasters maybe like 8 years ago when I wanted to become a public speaker. I watched Les Brown's Unstuck, and that kind of like took me into a different direction. I joined the Toastmasters when I was in Kentucky, I think. I was there in Kentucky. Ironically, one of the Toastmaster members introduced me to Les Brown, and Les Brown became a mentor for a while. And so I've always known about Toastmaster since then and been sharing it with other people as a good vehicle. It's been a major vehicle for me to organize and network in different cities. So when I moved to DC, I joined the Toastmasters there, or anywhere I go, I connect with people who know Toastmasters. And I did move to Baltimore and didn't ever come to the Toastmasters, but I kind of like was so busy organized, I kind of forgot about it. But I linked up with Crystal, and she reminded me that there's actually a chapter there in at Morgan State, so she invited me to this one. So, and I'm appreciative of that. And definitely will be back. I still do heavy organizing in different spaces and countries, so I do want to get back into Toastmasters. It's something I actually appreciate. And one last thing, I do facilitate a think tank, a study group, and we do icebreakers that's similar to Table Topics, and I got it from Table Topics. So,
listen, I'm just gonna say welcome home to both of y'all. How about that? So we look forward to seeing you again, and we're gonna try to persuade you to join the team. So listen, I'm excited. Anytime I have new members and information, thank you, Crystal, once again. Thank you, Ashlyn, as well for just speaking. We got a couple minutes left. I want to do roles for next week. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm hoping that I get everybody. Let's see if please excuse all the pop-ups. It's about to pop up right now. All right, if you're able to see my wheel of names, can you please just give me a thumbs up, y'all? Oh, thank you. Okay, I'm looking for the thumbs up. All right. So I believe I have everyone's name that are paid members. I'm just going to go down the list. And if I missed you, please forgive my heart. Please forgive my heart and my head. Crystal, Angela, Jessica, Sunshine, Natasha, Robert, Olio, John, Temple, Tyrone, Ashley, Eva, and Michelle. Did I miss anybody? Okay. This is for May the 30th. May the 30th. This is for May the 30th, y'all. This is the fifth week in this month.
That's Memorial Day.
That's a holiday, Robert.
That we are not going to be here. Thank you, friends and family. You will not. You better enjoy your weekend. We are going to come back on July the 6th.
Wait, what?
Okay,
Are we skipping
June the 6th.
To administer. Are we already in the third Monday? On your desktop or laptop.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, May goes by so fast. Yes, June 6th is what's on the agenda for our next meeting. The last
June 6th, y'all. We are live on June 6th. So do I have any individuals that already know that want to speak or want a certain role? We'll start there.
Robert, put me down for general evaluator, please.
Thank you, Ms. Eva.
Some icebreakers. We're starting to practice today. You're just telling us a little bit about who you are. If you're interested in doing the icebreaker.
I'll speak.
Who's that? Who's that?
Temple.
Oh,
okay, come on, Temple.
Temple, I know you ready to speak. You've been emailing me, girl, like, where's my
gosh, yes. Put me up there.
I got you.
Thank you.
I'll do table topics.
That's Angie on the mic?
Yes.
I already know.
It's Angie.
Do we have any more takers? Come on, take your names off the list. Come on.
Miss Eva said general evaluator.
Thank you.
What are the positions that are left again?
We have timer. We have speaker roles. Icon and grammarian. Evaluators.
Angie said she wants to speak.
That was Coach Angie.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, speakers.
I want to be an evaluator if possible. Jessica, please.
Okay, Jessica.
Okay, gotcha. Let me erase the names off. Okay, I'm going to spin the wheel. Did anybody else want to speak before we? Okay. All right, I'm going to spin that wheel and see if we can get some speakers, y'all.
And we're going to go ahead and cut off the live stream. So let's say bye to our YouTube people.
Bye, YouTube.